Let's begin with the Pokemon that is first in every Pokédex, the Grass Starter. Every Grass Starter has one thing in common. They are based on some sort of dinosaur or extinct megafauna. So I decided to go with an animal found roaming in the Rocky Mountains who has an epic prehistoric ancestor, the elk. And without further ado, I present for your viewing pleasure, Cactus! Look at him! Look at his cute little cactus antlers! Ah! So cute! So all gushing aside, Cactus is based on the Megaloceros, or the Irish elk, which is an ancestor of animals like the moose, reindeer, and of course, the elk. It is based particularly on a Rocky Mountain elk calf. It also loves to cuddle, which brings me to its most distinguishing feature, its horns. They are based on the Opuntia genus of cactus, or more commonly known as the prickly pear cactus. Though the horns don't look 100% like a prickly pear cactus right now, it will show in its later stages. Definitely watch out if you plan to snuggle with Cactus. If it wasn't obvious enough, the name comes from calf, as in a baby elk, and cactus. Next we move on to the Fire Starter. Fire Starters have thus far been based on animals of the Chinese zodiac. With 8 out of the 12 animals taken, the only options I had left were the horse, ox, snake, or sheep. While there are plenty of snakes in the Four Corners region, given, a lot of it is desert, I decided to go with the sheep, specifically the state animal of Colorado and the mascot of Colorado State University, the bighorn sheep, aka the ram. So here is Flambabe. This design is a bit more simple, but it gets the point across. A little lamb with fiery elements. Its name is based on flambe, which means flamed in French, which is also a cooking technique, and it's mixed with babe or baby. Last but not least, we have the Water Starter. Each Water Starter has 2 recurring themes, semi-aquatic animals and weapons. The weapons part won't really be present until the final stage, but the semi-aquatic mammal I chose was the mink. So here is Marink. This pondering little fellow is based on the American mink, a semi-aquatic mammal which can be found in the Rocky Mountains near still water. So there's kind of been a pattern going on with Water Starters since Gen 5 of mammal, reptile, or amphibian. Mammal, reptile, or amphibian. So I decided to keep the trend going. Its name is based on marine and mink. What is it thinking about? All 3 starters have contact or move-based abilities. Flambabe has Flame Body, Marink has Storm Drain, and Cactus has a new ability called Prickly, which is essentially like Rough Skin, but the opponent is left with prickly needles that do damage for 3 turns. Somebody break out the My Chemical Romance, it's time for the moody teenage phase. Let's evolve them! I present to you Buctus, Capragma, and Goularine. With Buctus, its horns have grown a bit bigger and more prickly pear-like. It also is based on an adult elk. Buctus are very proud of their horns, and whichever one has the biggest and strongest horns is considered superior. No, not superior, superior. Its name is based on Buck, an adult male elk, and Cactus. Duh. Next is Capragma. Its once fire-esque tail has now become a full-blown flame, and its horns have become red-hot. These guys will butt heads with their friends and rivals to tell who's the strongest, much like rams do to show status. Its name is based on Caprinae, the subfamily of the bighorn sheep, and Magma. But also, I kind of stuck my username in there with the Pragma. Pragmagic, you get it. Next up is Goularine. This grumpy looking guy has now taken on features of other mustelids, such as the Wolverine, which is also where its name comes from. Gulo is both the genus and species of the Wolverine. Its name is a mixture of Gulo, Marine, and Wolverine. So here we are at the final stages of the starters, but before I introduce them, I have to give the cliff notes of the gimmick of the region. These are known as nuclear types. They attach to a Pokemon's DNA and have a variety of effects which I'll explain later, but one of them is evolving Pokemon. That is an extremely shortened version. There will be a video coming up soon where I explain them all. One thing to note is the abilities of these final stages. They are a little OP, but I kind of just had fun with these guys and didn't put too much thought into the absolute havoc that they would cause in the actual games. Anyway, without further ado, here are the final evolutions of your starters. Meet Serafloria, Ovasuvius, and Panthagon. Serafloria is now a grass fairy type, and its ability has changed into another new ability, Flower Cloak, which prevents it from being poisoned and makes poison type moves neutral. Its name comes from Megaloceros and Flora. Now its design more so reflects the Megaloceros, and I wanted it to feel very elegant and a little snooty. Like, I'm too good for you. I mean, just look at my beautiful horns. Ovesuvius is now fire electric. It is based on this crazy natural phenomenon known as volcanic lightning. I mean, this stuff is absolutely wild looking, and I wanted that same feeling to reflect in Ovesuvius' design. Definitely expect it to know moves like Wild Charge. Its ability has also changed into a new ability called Igneous, which adds rock-type resistances. Its name is based on Ovis, the genus of sheep, and Vesuvius, the famous volcano that erupted and destroyed the city of Pompeii. Though, I don't think Ovesuvius will go around destroying a whole city like that. Hopefully. Finally, we have Panthagon, which is one of the biggest transformations by far. As you can tell, it is now a water dragon type, and it is based on the mythical Mishipeshu, or underwater panther, of the, and excuse me if I butcher this, Anishinaabe people of the Great Lakes area. It was/is an aquatic, panther and dragon-like being who lurked in the waters of the Great Lakes. And as I said, it is based on a weapon. Its tail is based on a whip. It actually uses its tail as one. Gives a whole new meaning to the move Tail Whip. It also has a new ability called Storm Eye, which raises special attack when hit by a water, electric, or flying type move. Its name comes from panther, Pa'ahu, which means spring water in Hopi, and dragon.